I can try for the rune reading for the full moon in Libra, which happened on the 31st in Libra. I think I mentioned that. And I'm just going to wait for people to come on. Hello, Tammy. Hello, everybody. Okay, so I'm trying it on the main PC because this is not Wi-Fi, and I'm thinking that the issue with the live streaming was because of the Wi-Fi, basically. This is Ethernet cable. Hopefully this will work and it won't have any dropout. So I'm going to try this again. And if you do have any questions, I will be taking questions, although I'm not going to do it too long because it is a 10:30 at night here. But just let me know if you do have any questions, and if I can get around to it, I will. And currently I'm just using my scarf at the moment to kind of try and make this nice for everybody. Hello, hello. All right, so like I say, this is going to be the rune reading. If you do have any questions, let me know. But this is going to be basically some kind of stuff over here. Then I don't know what's wrong, Harry, if it's still buffering. Oh, I'm sorry. But it's much stronger for me at the moment. So fingers crossed this is going to work. All right, so let's have a look and see what comes up. Hello, Mercedes. All right, let's have a look and see what we can do for everybody. And let's get some energy going. All right. Interesting. Okay, so as always, it's just going to be left to right, or I suppose, yeah, that's the way I'm going to do it because it's not going to be different for you. It's going to be this way to this way. And basically, there's going to be a lot of things coming through on this one. I've also got the Guardian Angel cards and some tarot somewhere else. Let's have a look. All right, so lots of things coming up here, actually. There's quite a great sense of, I would say intensity, but again, carrying on from last time, there is some sense of spoken word. Could we start with Odin's rune here? This is the first rune. This is Odin's rune. So this is quite important. This is about communication, the power of words. Obviously, he is the daddy of all Norse gods. So this is quite an important rune to have, and this is something that I think is coming through with a great sense of being. So what we say, especially during Mercury retrograde for the next 2 weeks, is going to be incredibly important. The way we say things, the way we phrase them, who we say them to, that's going to be really important, and especially because the new moon, which is going to be on the 15th, I think, of April, because that's the month we're in. I think this is basically going to be coming through quite strongly for everybody. Oh, happy Easter, Sonia. Hello, Sonia. And yeah, Daddy, sorry. This is just me. So yeah, this is a feeling of completion, but also this feeling as well of kind of integrating some kind of stuff that we may have kind of left by the wayside a little bit. We may not have really understood where we are. We may not understand where we're going. But I also feel like there's some form of completion coming through. And I do feel that there's a lot of people who may not really understand the direction they're going. So Rulo here, even, is quite a very strong rune. I would say that this is to do with how we are developing ourselves, how we are going into some certain stages of our lives here. And I just feel as though there's, I don't know, it just feels like we're trying our best to develop some sense of normalcy among everything that we're doing at the moment. They're just kind of pointing things out and trying to come up with some issues maybe that are hiding in the background. And I feel like with this last moon, we should be in ourselves. We should be getting in ourselves. I'm going to tell you a little story, actually. Story time. Okay, so you may or may not know, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this. There's a duo called Ant and Dec, and they are very, very, very big in the UK. They're like a comedy act. They present almost everything on television, and everybody loves them together. Well, majority, probably 90% of the country, love them together, and not as a couple. But basically, they are very much best friends, duos. You never see one without the other. And recently, on the full moon in Libra, because of unfortunately Ant's problems and personal issues, he was not able to present the thing with Dec, his best friend, and nobody thought that Dec would ever present it without Ant. And he's a Libra, and it was full moon in his sign, so the spotlight was definitely on him. And with the moon being in Libra, he was incredibly emotional, not just because of his friend, but also because he had to carry the show by himself. And it was the first time in probably 25 years that he had to do it. And I was looking at it going, hang on, it's Libra, it's full moon, it's very emotional. There's kind of these things coming through. It's Mercury retrograde. So it was all kind of coming through with communication, how you carry yourself and how you have the strength to go forward with things. And I really do feel that this is something that everybody has dealt with recently. I'm just going to check. Just going to check actually when the next new moon is, because yes. Let's have a look. Phases. Yeah, the next new moon is going to be on the 16th. So this is very. Thanks, Harriet. You got me beat. You're just too good. Okay. So yeah, that's going to be on the 16th. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of people who are coming through around that time. Maybe they've gone through the journey that the full moon started off with. That's what it looks like at this point in time. So yeah, it feels a lot like there's developments coming in here, and there's people who are trying to, I don't know, people who are trying to overturn some kind of things as well. Now, I can never tell whether this is Gibo or whether this is the other one. But we do have the Wheel of Power here, so it could be Gibo. Okay. I'm just double checking on this new moon when it's going to be, but I can't see the exact time. I know it's day after your birthday. Yay! Harriet, thank you. And hello, Pleiadians Tarot. I'm sorry, really sorry if I just murdered your name. I'm so sorry. But let's have a look and see. So I feel like I'm just going to put that through down. Okay, so I feel like there's a lot of intensity coming forwards here from a lot of people. I don't know whether there's anything that people want to get rid of. This, I think, actually, I'm trying to put my phone down. This is the death of something. So this is the death of something. This is something that people are going away from. This is something that we've inherited. So I feel like there's an inheritance. Pleiadians, thank you. So I think there's something that we have kind of inherited from other people. Like, for instance, Dec, what I was saying before. Dec inherited a problem. Dec basically had the issue with, that he had to carry it by himself, and he wasn't able to continue with it as much as I think he wanted to. So I think that's basically something that's coming forwards a lot here. And I don't know exactly when this is going to culminate, but it does feel like there's testing times ahead, shall we say. But in all, it does feel like humanity. Well, this phone, I swear to all that is up in the sky, down. I feel like there's a lot of things coming through. I knew you would be there. The only way is up. But we're not there yet because that was out of shot. So we're not there yet. We just need to see what kind of responsibilities we're taking for ourselves, see what kind of stuff that we are kind of keeping on board when we should be letting go. I myself are going through, this is a little shout out that she did not pay me to say. She doesn't even know probably who I am. But there's a witch on YouTube called Diana Ravenwood. I don't know whether you have seen her. But recently she did her own manifestation course. And I was lucky enough to get that on that for free. And there's a ritual that you do after doing some very consistent shadow work and journaling. And basically what you do is you perform the ritual, the first one of many, to release that. And I think this is kind of similar for people. We're having to release certain stuff. We're having to release the things that we no longer want in our lives. And I'll just say, because there's more people watching, please do ask any questions that you may have about spirit, about the moon cycles that are coming through. I only have a limited amount of time, but please do ask any questions that you may have. But I do feel that there's things coming out of this that feel like people may be a bit too sore during Mercury retrograde, because our words, this one keeps coming up to me, our words have power. Our words have so much power. And we need to be very aware of that. If we want to write an article, fine. If we want to develop something, great. And just try and, write things out rather than say them to somebody. That's going to be, I think, the better option. Now, I'm not caressing your face, don't worry. What I'm doing is I'm going to do some Guardian Angel Tarot Oracle cards. Let's just see what, whoa. Very jumpy this evening, very jumpy. Still can't believe I did that Anton deck story. Mercedes, about Kundalini. Yes, I will have a look. Well, that was just me. I will double check. Okay, they said it wasn't just me. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, I will have a look into the Kundalini awakening for you in just 1 second. Okay. Also, as usual, if you would like to get in touch with me or have a reading or anything like that, for instance, if this cuts off again, do look at the links below. Let's have a look and see. So the first one is Life Review. Also, thank you again to Sarah, who may or may not be watching. She helped me with my website that had not been working for apparently months. So thank you. Let's have a look. Take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that is imbalanced. So I actually do think this is quite a prominent card to have. Mercury retrograde is all about this. It's all about having that life review. It's all about looking into it and figuring things out and maybe seeing what you are and are not happy with, maybe how you view yourself, maybe how you develop in yourself as well. Looking into your sense of contentment. What is lacking? That's a big one. What is lacking within you? You may actually not find much. You may just find one thing. And it may be that I am not where I want to be yet. If that's the case, keep working. You will be where you want to be eventually. But you just have to review what has gone before. And I think, again, this was tying into the runes. I'll turn this around for you, actually. The kind of runes that they're saying, excuse me, they're not saying excuse me, release things that aren't yours anymore. So maybe you have to review what you are adopting as your own and that you don't need to take with you anymore. And then we have clairvoyance. I'm helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. So again, review those. My lips will work in a minute. Review those things. Review the things that are coming forwards and who are in your life to just seemingly make crap up. They're giving me the color yellow very strongly for this, actually. So maybe something to do with your self-esteem. Maybe you've believed somebody or will believe somebody when they tell you you're not good enough. Maybe there's something that you are not really happy with about yourself because somebody else said it. Again, words have power. So just tune in to the love that goes around in the universe, because you deserve some of that, and you should not be listening to anybody who tells you that you are not worthy, especially those of you who are in a position where other people may have extra privilege over yourself. So, don't believe them. And then we have gifts from God. So, we angels bring you gifts from your Creator. Open your arms to receive. So, I think that this is about just believing that you are worthy, believing that you are able to accept and retain and enjoy love. I don't want anybody to think that they are not worthy of love. Unless you've actually killed a person in cold blood, you are worthy of affection and love, and to have that healing energy around you. And the gifts may not even be love or relationships. It may be something like self-esteem growing. It could be that you're feeling a little bit more intense with yourself. And the fact that you feel, I can do anything, I can climb this mountain, I can do whatever. It could be that essence coming through. All right. So a few questions in the last maybe 15 minutes before we go ahead. All right. So Kundalini awakening. Now I'm having to revert right back to my witchy days. Oh, well, my youthful witchy days, where I was doing a class every week. And what they were advising with, Harry, I didn't actually ask you about when you were here. I didn't ask you about dude face. So please do let me know. Anyway, so when I was at the magic circle, which we called it, we briefly touched upon every week different energy systems. And the one was about Kundalini. And I really do remember this because it was very much about aligning chakras, even though they sometimes move, and developing certain things, and going into that feeling of well-being. And I feel like it awakens I think it awakens. This is not like a reward system. It's not like you deserve this. There's nothing like that. It's not like yeah, come on. You've passed the test. You can have it. This is something that you've been working at within yourself, and this is through practice, I think, of a particular muscle. And it feels like there's a lot of things coming through for you. It's like there's a lot of tests that you need to utilize within yourself. I mean, it was quite a while ago. I think the last time I really spoke about Kundalini anything was 2014. So it's going back a bit. And hi, Rasa, or Rasa from Lithuania. But yes, it does feel like Kundalini awakening. The next stage, I think, is just to embrace it, and it's not going to just be you're awake, boom, and that's it. That's not what it's about. What you need to do is continue to work with it, because it'll only get stronger. It's like a muscle. It's like meditation for the brain. The meditation exercises that muscle. And I feel like with Kundalini awakening, you also need to develop the self and the spirit and the feeling of intensity. Oh, don't be scared, Mercedes, about it. Please, please don't. It's not a bad thing. It can be overwhelming, though. I completely understand. I have not had it myself. But with any otherworldly, universal spiritual power, obviously, you're going to feel a little bit overwhelmed. I mean, the first time I had a spell that did well, or the first ritual that I was involved in, holy heck, I did not expect all that energy. So yes, I understand that you should be frightened, or you could be frightened, but reach out to others like you're doing to me. Reach out to people and just see if you can connect in that way. Really, Kundalini energy can be quite intense. I have not really read up on it a lot, but I know that the few people that I am aware of who had it did say that it was quite intense for them. Yes, so what can we have a look? You are a Taurus and you are talking to a Cancer. and you want to know if it's going to go well. All right, so I'm going to get a tarot card for this, and somebody watching may actually recognize these cards. All right. Is right way up? Yeah. Mercedes, 333 is the creator thing, and it's the self one. All right, let's have a look. Well, you're right. So let's have a look. Pleiadians wants to know about. All right, so you seem to want to come through. King of Swords. Megan. Or Megan. All right, thank you, Megan. Megan. I'm just going to stop saying names because I think it'll be easier to not offend people if we just don't say names. Okay, so this guy's telling me that the Cancerian has a little bit of a sharp mind, but also he has the ability to have a sharp tongue. He does have this feeling of, I'm going to say acerbic wit, but also mood swings. He can very much keep himself to himself, but he can also go forth and kind of like he's a kite in the sky, and he needs a grounding force. And I don't know whether you as a Taurus would be better suited to be that grounding force. It could be that you're kind of very much grounding his kite, tethering it so he doesn't fly away. But it does feel as though there are aspects of things coming in, really, with regards to that. That over the next few weeks, I think you're going to see him break down a little bit. The eggshell around him is going to crack slightly because he's not that hard. He's not as hard as he thinks he is. So just develop it, see where it goes. That's what I think is the best port of call, really. But yeah, that's the best thing that I can advise at this point in time. Okay, let's just have a look. I just noticed how rainbow shiny this is. Ooh, okay. That's the Libra in me. I'm sorry. I'm Libra rising. I apologize. Okay. This is just for the week ahead for some of us because it's Monday. It's bank holiday for us. So let's just see. Princess of Pentacles, otherwise known as the Page. All right. So this week it's going to be boring. You're going to have a routine. You're going to be back to certain things. But if you want to get where you want to be, you need to put in the work and you need to have the good work ethic. For instance, some people I know are doing Camp NaNoWriMo, which is they want to finish projects within a month. I am one of those people. So it's basically having to apply yourself every day. And this kind of is the biscuit for the next week, I think, is just to develop yourself, keep going, keep chugging at it, basically. Make sure that you are connecting with the, what is it? Not the work but that you're doing, but the content that you're doing. It may seem repetitive and regimented and that you want a little bit more excitement this week, especially because it's the waning moon. You may feel like, oh my God, geez, where's the energy gone? Or you could have overdosed on, chocolate, and you may be running around the room on e-numbers. But I feel like there's something coming through here that if you apply yourself and if you contemplate what you've got and if you use the resources that you have and you develop things and if you kind of mull things over a little bit more, don't jump into it, don't say things just to make things interesting, like don't gossip if you don't need to, don't put everything out there. I think that you will do a lot better this time. Just apply yourself as much as you can. Don't burn the candle at both ends and make sure that you perceive yourself in, in this kind of Page of Pentacles light. That's the main thing that I think you need to do, or that we all need to do. And I'm just talking about, actually, I'll keep her out. I'm just talking about you guys, me as well. Everything that I read, everything that I read here, it's going to affect us all. And I really honestly believe that when it comes down to it, we will be developing within ourselves and within the kind of realms of what the universe wants us to do. We sometimes can be quite focused on what we get materially. And I feel like this week, that's a good thing. I'm not going to say, no, don't focus on the, no, definitely do. Focus on what you want to achieve in this solid life. Make plans if you need to. Then you can go on, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Because it feels like if we focus too much on everything else, like spirit want me to do this, spirit want me to do that, my guides want me to do this, I want to know what my grandma from the fifth generation ago thinks of this boyfriend, or I want to know what blah blah blah. And you can be focused so much on that side of it and expecting the spiritual side to resolve the material side, like the human side, that you don't do anything to help yourself. And we've all been guilty of this at one point or another. So what we need to do is we need to look at what we're holding on to that we don't need to hold on to, be kinder to ourselves, accept that we are going to be drawing in gifts, but also do the work in order to get them. Not deserve them, because we already deserve them, but get them. Because, for instance, if I did a spell and I wanted the energy to clean the house, which wouldn't be a bad idea considering the state that it's in, I would not then just sit on my armchair expecting the mop to do it for me or expect the cat to suddenly strap fluffy things to its feet and dust. I wouldn't expect that. And it's kind of like the equivalent of expecting the universe to deliver something to you when you are not in the position or the energy frame to accept it in. So, for instance, if you want £10 million, but you feel like I'm going to spend it on trips abroad and I'm going to get gold encrusted glasses and I'm not going to buy a lottery ticket and I'm not going to give it to anybody else. You're not opening any avenues for that to be given to you. I'm not saying you have to give it all away, but you just have to be, more about it. And I think also it's not just about the material things. I want £10 million, but I don't think I deserve it because I've not suffered enough for it. What's suffering got to do with earning? That is very much a Christian mindset. Jesus had to suffer to deliver everybody else, And if you don't suffer enough, you're not worthy of getting the good stuff. That kind of thing. So I think that we need to work on ourselves. And yeah, Mercedes, release what does not serve us. That could be other people. You could be, or the people could be revealed to be very judgmental and cold this week. Friends that you've known for quite a long time could be revealed to be very judgmental and cold. I've had it done to me these last few days. And so I feel like if you develop and just work at where you want to be, and then say, hey, universe, can you give me a hand? Rather than, universe, you do your thing, and I'm just going to sit over here and you can work your magic and I'll accept it when it comes. Work with the universe. If you can, put some groundwork in it, sow your seeds, tend to your crops, that sort of thing. And then I think you're going to be okay. I think you're going to be okay. But that seems to be whatever they want me to say. Thank you, everybody, for your chat this evening. I really enjoy reading your messages. I'm probably going to do this again, but I don't know when or whenever you guys would like me to do so. But yeah, thank you for all your support. If you do want a reading, the link is below. And if you just want to buy me a coffee, because Lord knows I'll need it this week, do so below. Thank you, Aria. Thank you, Pelaladinis. Thank you, Mercedes. See, I told you I can't do the names. But yes, I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. I look forward to speaking to you guys soon. I'm going to go under my... that looks wrong. I'm going to go under my scarf now and click off. But I will be sending you loads of love, loads of energy. I will keep this candle burning for you guys for a little while longer. And blessed be everybody. Take care in this Mercury retrograde.